From Ford Video Guy Studio in Salina, Kansas, it's McArthur Live with Tim Bartz and Sarah Davis. For all the information on ordering and production, Ford news, recalls, debunking all the fake news on social media, and whatever's on their mind, here's your hosts, Tim and Sarah.
Welcome in, everybody. Let's get this straightened out here. Welcome to, I think we're episode 178 now. Last week I was way off. So we're on episode 178 here. So welcome in, everybody. Hope you guys are having a great week. And got some exciting news, some things to talk about, some things that I don't think anybody else has mentioned. And yeah,
I'm pumped.
And we'll see. Does Ford make affordable cars?
Do they?
Hope you guys like that. That was funny. Anyway,
We got the dad jokes today.
Yeah,
Who needs the dad joke cup when you got your own dad jokes?
We're going to talk about that. So little facts. Last week, I think we were talking that I was headed to NADA.
And then you didn't go.
And we couldn't fly into NADA. New Orleans was snowed in the day we were supposed to fly in. They couldn't guarantee that we're going to be able to fly in the next day. So we just canceled our trip altogether. And so we didn't go to NADA, but Ford was there. And Ford actually talked to dealers. I do a dealer, NADA, all the makes do a meeting. And so they talked about this, and they talked about some things. So we're going to talk about those and what's on our mind today, since I wasn't able to be there, but Automotive News was there, and they couldn't go in, but they talked to people on the way out and even interviewed Ford, and they answered a few things but so we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about some other fun stuff as well. So, but I did have some fun because I was invited to Colorado by the Mile High Bronco Club, which I am a member of, and I tout their hat all the time, like I am right now. And so they invited me up for a special viewing of a special collection of Broncos. So I don't want to give away anything, although I did. If you go to my social media on Instagram and such, you will see some posts. I did tease a couple photos. You can check that out.
Is that where I need to go to see it?
But I won't talk about it much here. But we did a video there. So Jeff went along with me, and he recorded some video, and we had some fun. Got a chance to see some friends, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. Almost got snowed in there. That was fun. You know, we get in there, and then it snowed overnight, about an inch of snow overnight, and it was snowing all morning when we were there. And and then I noticed somebody from the group said that they weren't going to come because I heard the roads were going to be closed at Lyman, Colorado. I'm like, we might get snowed in. So, but we didn't. We were able to head through and be just fine. So, like I said, if I'm driving there, I'm fine. So I've been shut in on two trips flying. So hopefully it doesn't happen in a couple weeks when we go to Orlando.
Don't say anything. Knock on wood.
Orlando's going to get like freak snow in Orlando, Florida.
There is another tropical storm coming.
Oh gosh.
Don't joke about it. You
Right?
need to go do some mojo or whatever, so that way you can.
I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, but yeah. So anyway, there's that. So how was your weekend? What all did you do?
Clean the house? Is that it? No, I lazed around. We did
What I
nothing.
did.
I brought my boys over to your house for one boy.
Yeah. He came over because I did get back to town Saturday night. So he was over Sunday too. So, yeah. Anyway, good stuff. So anyway, so otherwise, let's see. A couple things. Don't forget, make sure you subscribe, bell notification turned on, all that good stuff. So hopefully if you're first time watching this, you enjoy what you're seeing tonight. And if you want to stay updated to Ford news, update, and information, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and all that good stuff. Yeah. And let's see, recent videos, talking about that. Some of the recent videos we did almost a week ago now, we did Built Wild Wednesday. So we talked about hard tops for your Broncos for 25 model year and the options that are available, because the black top is more available on more trim levels, including the Big Ben, and that the body colored hardtop is available on some other trims instead of just the Raptor. So we talked about that and showed you some close-up clips of some of the ones that we had in stock. And then on yesterday, we did a Maverick Monday video, and we talked about the battery recall that we talked about last week that just went crazy. Like everybody picked up the news. I'm sure they got it from other sources, not just me, because actually I think Automotive News actually released the information prior to. They actually released it on the 17th, whereas dealers didn't. Ford didn't tell their dealers until the 21st. But the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, not association, which I said in the video yesterday, that they released theirs on the 17th. So anyway, we talked a little bit about that yesterday, so check out that video. And then again, and then upcoming Wednesday, we'll talk about the Strop Bronco collection. I just revealed it. So anyway, and then Super Duty Saturday, we'll see what we have entailed for that. So probably do some walk around on one of our Super Duties, but there you go. There's that. All right. That's all the stuff we need to talk. Don't forget, this is being recorded as a podcast as well. So you can favorite podcasting streaming platform, including Spotify, which is where you can find Sarah's podcast.
Yeah.
Which she recorded an episode today.
I did.
Right? That's going to be airing Thursday. So be looking for that.
Yep. With Miss Catherine Reinhardt.
Yes.
Melissa's rebel partner.
Yeah. And she
But
does
she
a lot of
doesn't.
others.
Yeah. She does a lot in automotive. It was a lot to learn.
There you go. Good stuff. So, and you know what's great about these is not just hearing and like, so guys, you can listen to these because it's not just about, what are women doing and how they break in it, but also what other different possibilities are in automotive that you probably didn't know even existed.
Well, like in high school, they give you the basics of professions. They don't even go into half of the things that you can do as a profession.
Yeah.
It
is interesting because there's things like, hey man, I wish that was available when I was a kid. I didn't know that.
A charity that she's on the board of that is for people that work in automotive that need emergency funds. If they are in aftermarket automotive, so dealerships, what are they called?
Vendors and stuff.
Well, vendors, our aftermarket team, or O'Reilly or other parts stores. If you need emergency funds, you've had something happen health-wise, the fires, things like that, you submit a form, and within 48 hours, they usually approve you and send you a check. So really good information for not just women, but for anyone in automotive.
Don't give away everything from your podcast.
That's just a teaser. You have to go and learn more.
Yes. So definitely make sure you do. So, and it'll be really good. So again, looking forward to that.
A lot of information about
Thursday night, 4 p.m. our time.
4 p.m. our time.
Central. So
that way those that are driving home from work can listen to it.
There you go. Yes, all good stuff there. Cool. Let's see what else we got going on. Don't forget about some of the channels that we like to watch ourselves. Johnny's in here. Johnny Car Care Reviews. Been a while since I've been able to watch some of his videos, and I know it's been a while since he's been able to get in here. So glad to see him in here, and we do love his channel, and also we might be seeing him in here coming up in February.
Yes.
So February 8th will be in Orlando, Florida, Ford's Garage, I think at Hamlin. Don't know time yet, but if you're interested, be checking out our social media. We'll be posting that on our our Instagram and everything else, but also on here on the YouTube channel. So be looking at that community tab. If you want more information, if you're in that area and want to join us, then let us know in there.
Yes.
So we'll get you all the information there, but it's not just for members. So if you're in the area, you want to come, hang out with us. It'll be fun. And then we're going to be there for the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So I'm looking for a Super Bowl watch party invite for Orlando, Florida. So anybody out there who wants to do that, yes. And the Chiefs are in it. So not that I'm a huge Chiefs fan, but I respect it, and they're still fun to watch.
Go to a bar.
Well, and maybe the guys there, they can clue us into that on Saturday night. Not really
a sports bar where you can watch TV, eat dinner, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't think I'm into that. I don't want to sit in one of those chairs for 3 hours to watch the game.
I like.
Other than being somebody's house.
I like the library here. The library is over by Kansas Wesleyan, and they have booths.
Yeah.
It's pretty comfortable over there.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. All right. So anyway, so that's all good stuff there. So that's coming up. See, we don't forget about our merch site. We do have. I don't really have any merch on right now. Nope, I don't. But there's free shipping going on starting January 31st to February 5th. So if you're wanting to get some of our merch on our merch site, the link is in the description. So there you go. And don't forget to check out our channel, our website, FordVideoGuyMedia.com, to stay up to date on things. And all the links for everything is right there too as well. So if you want the podcast is on there, everything else as well. So, all right, we're done with all that stuff. And then, of course, membership. That's probably the last thing. We have a lot of our members in here. I mean, it's lighting up green with all the members that we have in here. So if you're, we have several members, and if you're curious about what's all with the green names and everything, and yours isn't green, that's because those are our members. Those are our community. And so if you want to become a member, you can become a member, right?
Yes. If you'd like to become a member, is that join button right beside the subscribe button. It'll pop up and show you all the benefits you get as a member. If you're an iPhone user, you have to do things a little bit differently. You have to go to your web browser, go up to little a and big A, request desktop browser, and at that point, you should be able to see it.
It'll refresh and it'll look different, so you can do that. So, and then all the content you can find, you should get notifications for things, especially if you have the notifications turned on. Emails as well will come through usually for any videos and posts, but you can also find them right there in the membership tab. So,
yes.
And we do also, not only do you get to see your name in green, we're going to do shout outs here in just a little bit for those folks too, but also we do a live stream every Friday at 4 p.m. And we love talking and communicating and getting ideas from our community and the members in there. And then also we do a lot walk on Thursdays. So anyway,
Clarence Ruler says that Super Bowl tickets are going for $56,000 if you want to watch it live.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I think our news actually reported like prices, and you can get it cheaper than that. So, might be in the nosebleed section, but I'm okay. Anyway, all right. So there's that.
Now, if it was Packers, it would be different.
I wouldn't pay that.
Well, not to pay that, but would you want to go more if it was the Packers?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of costs involved.
There are, including extremely high
flights, hotels.
They're
talking about that, the cost of everything. So, all right. All right. So, speaking of that, let's do shout outs for our members here.
Yeah. I got 27 people in here. Hopefully no repeats. But we're going to start off with our main man, Ridgeview. Our moderator finally warmed up here in Central Florida, got the ceiling fan running. And he says when we're there, it's supposed to be in the 80s. I'm going to have to dig out my shorts.
Right? I don't have to bring a sweatshirt and a coat.
I don't know where my shorts are. I'm going to have to. I'll be doing some digging before we go. All right. We, of course, have Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. We have Mid-Coast Maine. Here we are again. Ford Enthusiast. Hey, everyone. Looking forward to tonight's topic. Brian Foster. I hope you and everyone else joining tonight's live stream is doing well. A chilly for us, but nice evening in Orange County, California. Rob Hallmark and Gino are here. Ronald Smith, good evening to everyone on the live chat. Our Quib, good Tuesday evening, everyone. We have Bucko and Ghost Stang, both saying good evening, everyone. We got him. Got that one. Mike 52G. Hey, am I late? He got in here at 6:58. Nope, you were ahead of time.
Nope.
We have Francis Ocala checking in. Hello, all. Mike M. McArthur, 40 days to daylight savings time and the start of more daylight hours. Niles was talking about that today, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Someone was. Would my Ford dealer have door protectors / side molding for my green Maverick? Maybe.
Maybe. Usually, like companies that like our window tint companies, the ones that provide the door edge guards for us. So maybe a company like that.
Like a bad penny, Roller is back from Clarence Roller. We have Alan. Welcome in to another great evening. I don't know how to say your name, Mr. Shydrox or Mrs. Hydrox. I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments.
Mrs. Hydrox, probably.
Or Mr. Shydrox.
I need to pull that member list.
Yes, you do. I need to update that. It hasn't been updated in months.
Yep.
We have Brandon. Howdy. Your Bronco Sport is really pretty, by the way. We have Donald Rash. What's in that cup? We'll do that in a second. Chris Byrne. Hello, everyone from Emerald City. Stay warm, my friends. We have... Oh, I already got him. Got that one. And I got that one. All right. Did we miss any while I was shouting people out?
Mm-hmm.
Richview says, and a swimsuit. We need swimsuits. I don't know about swimming. I do want to see the beach.
I wonder how cold that water would be. Yep. So what's in his cup? So what's in Tim's cup tonight? I actually didn't hide it, or I hid it this week.
Mike M says root beer. Can anyone guess what I have? I think it elevated my cup.
It looks like the Baja Mountain Dew. And it could be because she left work. So I know they don't carry those here at work, but you did leave.
I did.
All right.
Gotta go check on the
kiddo
who's sick.
Yep. Let's see here. What else we got going on? Oh, Chris. I was gonna say something about that. So Chris and I we're gonna be going to Bronco Off Rodeo real shortly. It's just around the corner, just a couple months now. And we're gonna be actually less than 2 months. We're gonna be at Bronco Off Rodeo in Texas. And so the group, the mach-e Bronco Club, they met up and there was 20 Broncos there. And check, I think I put it on my social site, maybe not. No, I think I did for members. So members, you can see that the rollout of Broncos. But they do a lot of different things. So a lot of these clubs, these Bronco clubs, will do get-togethers and such. So the Bronco Club of Texas is inviting down the Mile High Bronco Club. So I'm not going as part of Mile High, but I'm like, kind of am. So we're going to be there for that. So that Saturday, Hidden Falls, we're going there. So anybody else is going. And I heard the Bronco Sports from Bronco Off Rodeo will be there too.
Yeah.
So they're in the Bronco Sport community is going to be there too. And that's the reason they're doing that trail. It's kind of an easier trail that the Bronco Sports can do. So anyway, so we'll be like, it's not going to be like, they're not doing an easy trail because of Bronco Sports, but they're doing it to where, they got to think about clearance and such.
Yeah.
But
Tim said, hey, Tim, was that you I spied at the Strop Museum?
Yeah. We were there. We were there.
He was. So, I was.
And there was a lot of people that I was like, I didn't recognize a lot. I mean, some people came up to me, but after we were there, that we just switched patches with Bronco Adventure, and because he showed off mine today, and I'm like, oh, he was there. He was at the thing too. So it's crazy.
Here's the thing. You go incognito, one, with a hat. You've been wearing hats more, so that's less of incognito.
More, so people
two, people weren't catching on to who we were when we stood the opposite way.
Yeah.
Now you're going without me. So they're usually probably looking for a dark-haired guy or a guy with a hat with a blonde female.
Right.
No, he took my brother or our other person on our team.
Yeah. Yep. So
Tim was not there. He saw photographic evidence
Oh, okay.
in your
Somebody's other
snazzy
pictures.
strop vest.
Yes, I was in background, probably some people's pictures. So there's a lot of people there. So it was fun. It was a good time. But so got a see a bunch of cool Broncos and see some talk about history and such like that. And so we'll get into that. And then yeah, I got to edit that video tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that actually. But yeah, I'm really looking for doing these different trips. So find your local Bronco group, find out what they're doing. Maybe, you know, since there's not really a Kansas group that's doing a lot, maybe I just need to start one. And
Yeah.
I just wish I had time to manage that. So anyway, there's not
I
a
mean,
lot.
I can
There's
start
not
it
a
for you.
lot here. There's about 3 places to go. in
I can
Kansas.
start it for you.
Well, there's a Facebook page already, and I'm the admin of. We just don't do anything. Don't do anything.
Add
on
me
it.
to it, and I will see what I can do.
All right. All right. So yes, there's that. But yeah, find your Bronco, because I'm looking forward to that, because we got the event going on, and it's like every month, the next 3 months, it's going to be fun, because you got the event going on in Orlando. That'll be fun, getting together with people. Texas, which Chris and Bronco doing Bronco off rodeo and seeing the people down there with the Bronco on Saturday. The Broncos there.
You know, I
And
think I
then
need to start.
Super
I know we
Cell.
have the Maverick page, but I feel like we need Maverick. I don't know. Can I convert the Maverick page on Facebook?
To what?
I'm not sure. Brandon's
things
saying Maverick meetup.
I don't know. We'll have to see. All right. Okay. What else is up going on? Well, we got a good dealer moment. You got that ready?
Not quite. While we're talking about events and whatnot, I don't have access to post things on the YouTube channel anymore.
All right.
So either I need to log into your computer before you get here tomorrow and do that, or have you do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you figure that out.
You
So,
get that. You talk about your mail.
Yep. All right. We got a couple things in the mail. So this is Angela in Michigan. Always like Michigan people sending us stuff. Says thank you. When I ever hear crinkling, I got to make sure there's nothing weird in there that's going to blow up in front of my face. All right. They do send a poker chip, and they taped the patch so I don't lose it. This is Daryl _the_22 Bronco. So there you go. So here's the patch. Thank you for all the swap. Thank you for the swap. Stay safe during all your Bronco adventures. So there's that. Kind of weird. And then the poker chip stickers as well. A couple different ones. I do like that they put their where they're from right under theirs as well. I like that. That's pretty cool. So maybe that's how you do is you put the Kansas state flag. Anybody will know what that looks like. Anyway, so there's that. All right, and then this other one, we only got 2 this week. I need to get more. This in here, actually, speaking of Texas, Stephanie from Texas as well. Right here. Says thanks for swapping, Stephanie and Pinkie Pie. They're starting a pink Bronco club, I think. Have you seen that? What are you doing?
As I figure my nose out.
So there's their patch. Pink Broncos. Should Ford make a pink Bronco? That's the question, right? Because there's some people out there that are making their own pink Bronco, and then there's all their patches and everything's in here. Wow, all kinds of patches in here. So there's the one that's just the Bronco. So it's really cool when people do like this when they do that. So I think we're sending a sticker with our state. Like we had the patches, we ran out of those patches, and earlier right now the only patch I'm sending is the Bronco itself. But it's really cool to see a couple different options of stickers. Pretty cool. And then there's some extra stickers in here. I know we're sending some fun ones. So there you go. Little bunny. Okay. So there's that. Those are the two. You got your good dealer?
I sure do.
All right. Go for it.
Okay. You want to throw the slide through?
No.
All right. This is Tommy Vaughn Ford in Houston, Texas. And Lauren Evans was the sales associate. 2024 Lariat Hybrid, good experience, no add-ons, wanted to add salesperson's name. She actually called me to get me on the list when orders opened, knowing I was looking. So she took initiative and called him because she needed to follow up with him and tell him that orders were open and no add-ons. And he has a 24 Lariat Hybrid. So Tommy Vaughn Ford in Houston, Texas, Lauren Evans.
Houston, Texas. All right. There you go. So here's the thing. I know you're getting all those from Maverick Truck Club.
I actually posted it in the others. So some of those are not now. So I just put them in there. So now we're going to start seeing less Maverick or hopefully less Maverick, but we should start seeing others.
Well, my point is Maverick we're going to talk about affordable vehicles, Maverick being one of those. And
Yes.
If a dealer is willing to treat you right on a cheap car, they're going to treat you right on anything you get. So that's the thing is you might like, well, I'm not just looking for Maverick, but if you got a dealership that's doing things the right way and they're taking care of you on one of the less expensive vehicles, which doesn't make a lot of money for a salesperson, then they're going to take care of you on the more expensive car too.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's what's great about going through all that. So,
Yeah.
All right.
Now it's kind of like those videos I see where they have a raggedy person walk into a high-end dealership and they go, I don't want to work with them. Get out of here. You can't afford this. And then a nicer sales associate comes over and works with them. Come to find out they're a CEO that just finished their workout.
I've got stories like that when I was selling. I mean, I remember the salesperson sending me out, hey, there's a guy on the lot that asked for you. They didn't ask for me, but they looked at him and they pre-qualified and assumed that they couldn't finance or afford a vehicle, and then I go out there and I help them and find out that they have excellent credit and they just came from work. And some of the places you work, you get filthy, dirty, whatever, but they're good jobs that pay well.
Yeah. Well,
And
Allie was
that was the
talking
case.
last night and she said that some of the people that have like 800 credit scores can't get approved because they have too much debt to income, while people with 500 scores will have been getting approved more lately because they don't have as much debt.
I don't know.
You never know.
I don't know if I quite believe that though.
She was
Usually
talking-
somebody with an 800 credit score knows how to handle their finances and they're not overextended.
You would assume.
You
You never know, though.
Now 700 maybe borderline, like me. Sorry, I'm not overextended yet. Anyway, okay. All right. So let's see here. Somebody just asked us to join all things.
I just saw that.
Anyway, okay.
That's what they need to start doing. Talk about more.
Let's move on. What's in Tim's cup? Let's let them know.
What is it?
I do have Mountain Dew. It's code red. Mountain Dew.
Okay, and I have Diet Baja.
Diet Baja.
Baja Zero.
Is it really a Baja if it's diet? I mean,
No, but I'm trying to be good.
that's like going through the Baja in a Bronco.
It's kind of funny though. I had Baja, but I'm sitting over here eating hot tamales with it. So
It is weird. Okay. All right, so we've been doing the scheduling notes video in a separate video about 6:30, so 30 minutes before the live stream. So hopefully you guys got a chance to see that. I'll real quick, I'll just recap. I won't go through everything unless you guys have questions, but this by me recapping allows you guys to go ahead and drop your questions. So what I'm going to do right now is let's answer questions about scheduling. So if you have any, you watched that earlier, drop those in there now. And so we can go in through some scheduling Q&A. So while you guys are doing that and dropping those questions in there, let's just kind of go through now. Course scheduling, like you guys know, I don't have to go through all that for most of you guys, right? They are scheduling on Thursday, January 30th, and this is still allocations for January that they're using. And I really wanted to stress last week as well as this week, and in every section when I talk about every model, that you can't get scheduled for your order without the dealer having an allocation. So like we used our last Maverick allocations last week. So if somebody had put in an unscheduled order for us within this last week, I can't get them scheduled until I get more allocations for Maverick. Right. So that's a key. You got to have allocations. And so a lot of this week, if they're either not scheduling, and probably the reason they're not scheduling is they've already figured out their production for March. And so they don't need to schedule anymore because they're full with their production plan, or they're doing cleanup scheduling because there are dealers out there that need to fulfill their allocations because they didn't get fulfilled the first couple weeks of scheduling. So the models that are not scheduling this week, no scheduling, is the Mustang, Escape, Mach-E, Ranger. Those are the ones that are not scheduling this week. All the other models are scheduling this week. So Bronco Sport scheduling, again, cleanup scheduling. And then Bronco is scheduling, it says here as well. And they're only going to be producing 2 weeks in March. So, and then Explorer is scheduling as well. And Expedition is scheduling. So good to see. Maverick is scheduling as well. Super Duty, F-150, and Super Duty dates aren't just for March. Kentucky, they're also scheduling for the last week of February too. And then F-150, they're scheduling for not the entire month of March, but the last 3 weeks of March. The first week, it looks like they've already got scheduled out. And then Transit's also scheduled for the last week of February through the entire month of March. So anyway, so that's kind of some of the big things there. There are some constraints and such, but that usually happens at the end of most months because they've scheduled out most of everything. So they'll say when you see it in there, it's like Maverick, for instance, exhausted availability, for, the Tremor and the all-wheel drive. Well, that's because they probably scheduled out most of their all-wheel drives and their Tremors already. Right. So they're needing the other orders to fill in what they do have availabilities and parts available for, because they haven't reached their max on the other different configurations. So, if you're looking at a front-wheel drive, hybrid, then you have a good chance because they haven't fully, filled that up yet. So that's kind of how that works. 6-way power driver seat. That would be your XLT Lux package. So keep that in mind. So again, probably looking XLTs without the Lux package, right? So there you go. Anyway, so you got questions on any of that stuff? Anything?
No. No.
I mean, you can drop the questions in that video as well. I'll try to answer those, but I will tell you that it probably won't happen until like tomorrow. So. So anyway, so there you go.
I don't know why, but I'm in my own account, but it's showing my all women driven logo and name.
Yep.
But I don't know why. I'm in my own account.
Are you sure?
Yes. Like I see my bubble with my face in it instead of my logo.
Unless you use, well, no, actually it does say all women driven too. So
yeah.
There you go. I don't know.
All right, we're gonna close.
All right.
I have a couple things here.
All right. So new comments. Click down here. There we go. All right. So any other questions on that? So okay, here's one. All right. Tim's asking, I am curious as to how many Strop Broncos are still in the queue. Oh, I can pull that up. Okay. There aren't that many, less than 100. Let's see, commodity report. I actually do like looking at some of the models. They'll go in the specifics on that, and really Bronco's the only one they do that with anymore. And Super Duty, I guess, where they'll go through each of the trim levels and how many orders are in there, and I really do enjoy looking at that. But so for the Bronco, the breakdown of the 716 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the Bronco 25 Bronco. Here's the breakdown. Base, there's only 48 in there. Big Ben, 74 orders. Outer Banks, 97. Heritage, 161. Here's the big one. Badlands 194. Strop is only 88 and Raptors only 54. So that's a very small number really for all of them down there. And of that, so it says total hard tops, 681 of them. So 92%, or wait, retail, 95% of the orders are hard top. So only 5% are cloth top. So that's kind of crazy. And let's see, 32 have the black diamond package put on them. Only 4 orders with the free willing. I don't think that's a big take rate, right? Stealth package, one, they call it the stealth package. That's the black appearance package, probably, is 112, and the Sasquatch 445. So 62% of those. So anyway, and so that's like a situation where I've talked about this in the past. Is there's 716 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank, and like you look at Sasquatch where it shows this report that sometimes will show up on Bronco 6G. You'll see U.S. capacities. Their capacity is 50%, so that means 50% of what they produce can be Sasquatch. And if you look at this, it's saying, well, 62% of the orders in there are Sasquatch. That means they can't build them all. Well, no. Because if you actually look at the actual raw number, which is 445, they're going to build more than 716 Broncos in the month. Even, well, maybe not in the 2 weeks, because it's only 2 weeks of production, but they should be able to build all those. So really, that's why there's not really a constraint on the Bronco right now. It's because, I mean, none of these numbers are outrageous by any means when you look at their total production numbers, even for 2 weeks, since they're only producing for 2 weeks this month, or for March, I should say. Really isn't that many, and only 88 strops. So that's crazy. But I will say this: we have 2 strop Bronco orders in our order bank, and we haven't gotten any of them scheduled yet. So their capacity is 2% of production. So they're producing those in small chunks throughout. And I don't even know if, to be honest, how many. I know they've scheduled some, but I don't know. We haven't had any scheduled, which really surprises me that we haven't. And I'm not sure how they're scheduling that. I know they're scheduling the same weeks that they're doing Raptor. They're considering that like a specialty, Raptor and Strop, which I almost figure Heritage should be, but they don't throw that in there that way. But so anyway, there's that. But all right, I don't think I unstarred that, but maybe you did. All right, what else?
Still no news on Maverick, correct?
What about on the 24th?
Yeah.
The recall?
Yep.
No, I talked a little bit about it at the end of yesterday's video, but no. No recall information.
Chris says 49 days until Texas Bronco Off Rodeo. Not that I'm counting.
There you go. That'll be a lot of fun.
They're
talking about taking the marketing team to an off rodeo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but they're wanting to actually go to the full day. So they're wanting to do it not as the dealer, like a dealer days where we did half days.
Yeah.
So they're wanting to like Derek hasn't used his from his Bronco yet.
Okay.
And then Ashley's getting a Bronco coming in. So I think they're going to use that one to allow for, because then you can buy for $195. You can buy a second person.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, I don't know, but
heck yeah, those are fun.
Team building exercises.
I think I gave her that idea because we talked about it
when
I did her interview.
Yeah.
So our Florida meetup is February 8th. We will be in town starting the 7th. We leave the 10th.
Yep. So I don't know. Like I get in a little earlier than you.
Yes.
I get in that Friday. So, but yeah, well, I'll probably just do dinner or whatever, go see some things, but then Saturday will be the big Saturday and Sunday sightseeing days and everything. So, all
6 o'clock is probably too late for sunset on the beach, right?
I don't know.
I think so.
All right. So it appears the recall on the Haas 2.0 shocks is going to impact 25 Badlands Sasquatch orders. A couple of us on B&G, or Bronco 6G, just had our scheduled build dates pushed to out 2 months. I don't know. I mean, it is, that does kind of make it look like that's that. But I thought that recall wasn't for the Haas 2.0 shocks. I thought it was for the regular 1.0 shocks, but I might be wrong because I didn't read that thoroughly. Great thought though. So anyway, we'll see. That is a possibility because we do see them getting pushed back, and maybe it would be, especially if you all have Sasquatch. That's where you start getting that information, figuring that out of who's got what on their orders that got pushed back, right? So very interesting. So I've been trying to check out what's going on in there on the chat. So I've been.
Ragacon says it's for Haas 2.0. Haas 1.0 doesn't have welded on reservoirs.
Yes, that's true. But I wasn't sure. Oh, because it was the reservoirs, wasn't it? That was the problem. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. I'm with it now. All right. And then, so Chris said, have you heard anything about a leaky bills shocks? Yeah. So that is the recall we talked about. Was that last week we talked about that recall? I think it was. That we did talk about that recall. I think last week or the week before. So, yes. So some of those, the Haas 2.0 shocks. Let me pull that recall up. I keep all these somewhere. Anyway, well, I can pull that up, but yeah, you got the gist of it there. So, all right. What's this one here? I have a Ranger Raptor order with you. I was wondering how many orders you have of Ranger Raptors. I think like 18, I think, right around there. And yeah, so those are really slow rolling out this year. And I know it's been a long time since you ordered, but they didn't really start scheduling those. When do they start production in February? February is the first month they're doing production for the Ranger Raptor. And so we've only had this is the second month, and really they're only producing 2 months. So they started in mid-February. So only 2 weeks in February that they're producing Rangers. And then there's 2 weeks that the plant's down. And so they're only going to produce Rangers and 2 weeks there. So we're talking only 4 weeks of production they've scheduled so far for the year.
Okay.
So they really haven't really started. So we were kind of promised that we were going to get a lot of allocations on Ranger Raptor, which is why we opened up the invoice pricing for that on there. And I feel really bad that we haven't been able to get more people scheduled, and they're probably real concerned that we're not going to be able to fulfill theirs like we thought we were. But it's really because we didn't get any allocations for March. But with only 2 weeks of production, I don't think they really were going to produce very many Ranger Raptors in March.
Right.
Is my take on that, because I don't think a lot of dealers got allocations either. So anyway, so there's that. So hopefully that helps answer some questions there on that. So anyway.
All right.
Yeah, there were a lot of Ranger Raptor allocations of 24 model year that the dealers weren't taking because they marked theirs up, so they weren't selling them. So like, well, we don't want any allocations. We can't even sell the ones we have. So they didn't take them, and that's how we ended up with a bunch. We were getting 3-4 Ranger Raptor allocations a month there, you know, in 24 model year, and we didn't have anybody to sell them to. You know, they're coming in as stock Ranger Raptors, and that's why we opened that up.
Yeah.
And
now,
they said we'd continue to get that.
Yeah. So. Now, Drift Juice, you said you have your order with us.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome to contact your salesman to ask about information like that. They'll usually come and ask us. But we also have membership if you want to hear it directly from us. We track orders on Fridays.
Yes. Is he a member?
He's not. Okay. But if you become a member, we do track member orders.
Yeah, we can do that. But yeah, you call anytime though, and we can look up your order. So just don't feel like you have to be a member.
Nope,
for that.
You don't have to be a member.
All right. Any news on battery recalls or dealers putting in AGM batteries? Well, I covered that really good yesterday. Maverick Monday. Every Monday we do a Maverick Monday video. That's a great thing for you to kind of tag that playlist because we really did cover that extensively yesterday. I think pretty well because I went through what the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, what they put out not just what Ford gave us, because Ford didn't give us all the information. And so it looks like they are going to be replacing those batteries. And it looks like it's mainly EcoBoost, but some people are saying even their hybrids had that other battery in them for 22. So we'll see if they're going to replace them as well. And some people said that theirs didn't pull up as having the recall yet. So they might not have actually updated it for that website from Ford. So just because yours didn't doesn't mean it won't. So let's wait until we get the official bulletin from Ford, which is supposed to happen like next week, I think, is what that said. So anyway, I don't have it on me anymore. But yes, so check out that video I did yesterday. I went in pretty extensive into that right there. So all right. What else we got?
Any Lobo Mavericks built?
They start building those next week, right? They probably have built a couple because there's what they call mass production 1 and mass production 2. Production 2 is full on, you're going job 2, and that's supposed to start next week, the week of the 3rd. But there are some that they're going to probably try to get through to make sure they're ready for that launch on next week. And so there might be a couple Lobos that are getting built in January, but it's going to be a small number. The full ramp up of job 2, including Lobo, starts next week. Wait. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, next week. So, good question. All right. Anything else? Because I'm a little behind here on this.
Here. What's the better powertrain for reliability and longevity? The Ford Maverick 2.0 or the Maverick Hybrid? Both are still relatively new to see what the longevity is.
Not really. Okay, well, we got to remember these were in the Fusion. Both motors were in the Fusion.
We have a 19 Fusion that's holding up very well. I can tell you
yours is a hybrid, right?
Ours is a hybrid. Yeah. And it works really well.
Great example. It's the same. I mean, it's not
What about the C-Max?
It's a little bit different hybrid motor from if I remember right, from when they launched it. These are actually built in by Ford instead of Atkinson, I think. But yeah, and then the 2.0, you didn't see a lot of the Fusions with the 2.0, but they were producing those for a while. And you got to remember the 2.0 is what they're putting in all the Bronco Sport Badlands as well.
What about the C-Max? Because that's 7 years old and going strong.
So that's the same as your Fusion had.
Okay. So my 2017 C-Max, it's a 17. That's 9 years old.
Yeah.
8 years old. 8 years old. And it's going very strong.
And your fuel mileage is pretty good, right?
Yeah, I get
that, because it's hard to tell what your degradation is of that battery but you can tell by your fuel economy because the better fuel economy you're getting, that means that battery is working
in
really
the winter when I'm blasting the heat to keep us warm, because I do have 2 small children. I do get about 25 to 28. In the summer or in the spring and fall when I don't have to blast air or heat, I'm getting about 35. And in the summer with air conditioning, I roll down the windows as much as I can. I get on average 30.
So both of those motors have been now I think if I remember right, maybe it's just the transmission that's different in the hybrid, a Maverick versus what it was in the Fusion.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the motor, that should be about the same motors. And that 2.0 has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
So again, it's just in a different vehicle, but the motors are pretty well.
Either one would serve you very well.
But in a way of the Maverick, it's hard to tell yet because they started.
Although we have had 22 members that have driven theirs for 100,000 miles or more.
Sure.
And they said that the Maverick was going strong. It's just that they needed to trade in for a new model for work. So,
yeah,
because they have a max of a certain mileage that they have to trade in at.
Yeah.
But at 100,000 miles, their vehicles were still going strong. And that was like a 22 and a 23 Maverick. So.
Yep.
There you go. You see Jeff's. I just got an F-150 Lightning Flash based on your videos. Ford is offering killer deals with AZ plan combined with rebate and Tesla Conquest.
Yes, if you have a Tesla, definitely you get that rebate as well. Yep, pretty pretty good deals on
Glad you came to the right side.
on Lightnings and yeah, from Tesla. Anyway, some really good deals on those. And we'll see how long that lasts, right? Because now that they're not pushing the EV mandate, right? We'll see if Ford changes on the production of EVs because of that. But we'll see. But yeah, we'll talk about that. Well, they haven't lowered their prices, but are they affordable pricing? That's the question is, right? So we'll talk about that. So we're going to talk about, are they affordable? And I want to talk about their marketing and what their marketing they're looking at doing, but is that accurate marketing? Because that's what we're going to talk about. Because yeah, anyway. All right. Any other questions about that?
No, I don't think so.
We did answer this right earlier. We did. We answered that earlier about the door protectors.
Yes.
So usually, like I said, ours are Expel. So the same
Yeah.
company that does our window tint, we get our door edge guards from. So
Now-
if you find a vendor that does maybe window tint, they probably could have door edge guards or
Yes.
clear bra. Like that they put the vinyl on the front to protect the front from rock chips. Same company, same
Yeah.
same principle.
People that do wraps might be able to as well.
Yep.
They would probably have a clear Expel that they can put on that for you.
Now, I will say this: we do the clear ones that are on there, but they do make like a black one that goes on the edges.
I think that's what Ridgeview had.
Alan. I think
has
Alan
those.
has those, and maybe even Ridgeview. I don't remember.
Alan, where did you find those? He's in here.
Yeah, maybe he got them online because he got, I think, a lot of things online. So maybe
Yeah.
Alan can help with
Because
that.
it actually looks really sharp on the Maverick with all the other black trim on it. It looks really sharp. I enjoy it.
Yep. All right. Anything else before we move on?
Cafe standards need to be reevaluated.
Well, now I think they're going away.
Oh, Amazon. You can find them on Amazon.
There you go. So there's that. Well, that's what I think. I mean, I think Trump did say that the EV, basically customers can buy what they want, and they're not going to make dealers have to hit a certain number for that. So the ED mandate's going away.
I need to stop talking about that so then people actually go watch the.
Right.
We got into that too. Go see our opinion. Not really my opinion, but.
Yep. All right.
Oh, Alan got his off of Etsy.
All right. So, all right, let's move on. Unless you guys got any questions, just pop them in anytime. If you think of a scheduling question, though, you don't have to. We're not done. We'll answer any question. So, all right, dealer news updates. There's a couple in here. Nothing huge.
Be right back.
Yeah, go ahead. So one of them is, and I thought was kind of funny, is that I guess back at and I didn't get to go to the dealer meeting that they had in Vegas last fall. But I guess back then that they opened it up for any dealerships that's upgrading their facilities is going to be upgrading to a new signature. So it's called the Ford Signature 2025 Facility Design. So anybody that like updates their facilities will get the new. They're going to work with the new signature on there for the Ford, the dealerships and such, and signage and everything. So anyway, there's just some information in here for dealers that are getting that and how it'll impact them and who will get the new designs and everything. And so if they're up for getting their store redone like we had to years ago, then they'll get the new signage and everything for that. So which is kind of cool. So they talked about it, I guess, at the dealer meeting, and so now they're saying that's available. So it says this design is the new company standard for all new builds, renovations, and relocations. So any dealers are up for any of those three would expect to see that new upgrade for that, which is it's kind of cool. So can't wait to see some of the ones that get built and what they're going to look like. And then this other one, they're actually doing some more things for dealers for Lightnings. So it says in here to support dealers for with truck month sales in 2024 F-150 Lightning sale down. Ford is launching a limited duration incentive program. Participating dealers will have the opportunity to earn an incentive for replenishing eligible 2024 model year F-150 Lightnings located in RRC. So last week we talked about how you get a Lightning, and you can't order one, but you get them through the RRC, and you can get them online. So dealers can get them through the RRC replenishment centers, retail replenishment centers, I think is what they call it. And so if we go in there and we can bring these into the dealership if we want, then there's special incentives going on for those. So it's still, they did this, we bought 10 of those units when they did it back. I think there's a minimum of 10 units purchased that you bought from the RRC, then you got $1,500 off incentive for each unit. So it looks like they're doing something similar to that. Does it have a minimum units? Says participating dealers will be eligible to earn an incentive as set forth in the table below. So XLT, flash layer, or platinums, $1,500 a piece. An additional access inventory process does not require dealer pickup. $1,500 a unit, and then additional access to inventory process does not require $2,000 for XLT Lariat Platinum. I don't have to see. Like I said, I didn't look through this real closely. The number of units dealers are eligible for is based on individual dealers' EV stocking guide. So it depends on how many they have. They could get 2,000 a unit depending on that. So anyway, which is kind of cool. So there you go. So you might start seeing some, because of that, you might be seeing some dealer lots. So be looking for those since that came out right there. So, yeah. So there you go. That's it. That's all that. But I do want to talk about order guide updates. So I like to cover any order guide updates that happen. You know what? So there were some that I found, and some that I didn't realize. Actually, I found one that Ford hasn't said yet, because I usually will let dealers know when there's any order guide updates. Like this one here happened to come out actually the last Thursday, on the 23rd. F-150 Lightning order guide was updated, and so I went through that to see what was changed on it, and they just fixed basically a typo is what they did. So on that order guide, I think I talked about it even last week, that as part of job 2, the flash will have a 123 kilowatt extended range battery. Well, good thing I didn't look at the order guide, because it said 122. So they corrected that to say 123 instead of 122. That was the only thing that was really changed there on that. So nothing huge there. And we're going to talk about this in a second. And then one thing I did find is today on the Explorer that they updated the order guide, but they haven't showed an order guide update yet. But I did figure out what they changed. So on the 25 Explorer, they are now on job 3. So some of these models are having up to 3 different jobs. So job 3, which says is anything built on or after March 17th of 2025 will be a job 3. Actually, it still says job 2 in here. It says job 2, but I think it's supposed to be job 3. So they are updating it. So they are taking off the spare tire. So spare tire was standard equipment, is now optional equipment. It's option 76U to get the spare tire in the jack kit. So now it'll be tire inflator and sealant kit is standard on all series. So they've removed that as standard equipment. So that's really the major change. But because of that, they had a price decrease. So we're seeing a lot of price increases. In fact, we're going to talk about some here in just a second. But there are some, they did decrease the price on the Explorer. So your active Explorer is now $200 less starting, and all the others are $150 less. So, which I thought was very interesting. And something else that I noticed is on the price list, there was a new pricing. It said the active comfort package, which is available for job 1 and 2 as well, but for job 3 it's more expensive. It's $50 more. So I said, well, what's different about the package? Well, now that package comes with the second row HVAC controls. So, which I didn't even know they didn't have the HVAC controls, but it sounds like to me the active doesn't have HVAC controls unless you get the active comfort package.
Huh.
So you don't have those rear. When I say HVAC, it's the heat and climate behind the console. So those are gone. So anyway, so there you go. So those are the changes on that. So that's why there's a $50 price increases for the HVAC. So and then some bad news for those people out there with a Maverick that if you have not ordered it yet.
If you've ordered it, you should be good.
If you've ordered it, it should be good. There's price increases on the Escape and the Maverick for 25 model year. So here is the skinny on this. So this price increase started yesterday, actually. It says price protect. So you're price protected through yesterday. So anything ordered today is going to have the higher price. So your hybrid XLT and XL front wheel drive series went up $155. The hybrid Lariat all-wheel drive series also went up $155. The Lobo, both 402 and 702, went up $155. The Trimmer also went up $155. So those all went up as of today. So it says effective January 27th. Yeah, so January 27th is when they went into effect. So if you ordered yesterday, you would see those higher prices. Escape price went up as well. The active 1.5 liter front and all-wheel drive went up $250, and the ST line 1.5 liter front and all-wheel drive went up $250. So those also went up effective yesterday as well. So when I say this, price protection goes into effect. So if you haven't taken delivery of yours, right, the window sticker will probably show an increase of $155 for those configurations. So just know you should be we say we should be protected because it is up to the dealer to do the right thing here. So I can't tell dealers what to do. I'm just another dealer. But Ford will price protect back to the customer and back to the dealer, actually. As long as the person to order the vehicle buys the vehicle, they will price protect any of these price increases. So you should get not what's on the window sticker, but what it was when you ordered. So always get that order sheet on hand of anything you ordered. So when that comes in, that's the price you should be getting, not the price increase. And again, the dealer can do what they want, to be honest. I mean, they can say, nope, there's a price increase. That's it. And it was like, well, there's price protection. Since I'm the one that ordered it, I'm price protected what it was when I ordered the vehicle. They were like, no, we don't think so. And they could stick to their feet on that, and it's really up to them. But I have information. If you need it, email me and I will provide you with that. But Ford, I'll tell you this, Ford is going to reimburse the dealership back that $155. Whether they pass it on to you is really up to them. And there are, again, some sketchy ones out there. So anyway, so there's that. Any questions on that?
Nope.
Not that you know of?
Not that I'm seeing. What if I ordered, got a signed sheet, but has not yet been scheduled? You're good.
Yes. It's based on when you ordered the vehicle.
Yes.
That's what the price should be. Again, keep that sheet and keep them, foot to the fire. And I don't know. I mean, to be honest, we've had Mavericks come in that the customers didn't take that they ordered, and they're not flying out of here right now. I mean, not like they used to. So it's not like, they can go, well, we'll just sell it then to somebody else and we'll, whatever. I'm like, folks, I can tell you, they're not just selling hotcakes. They don't have people in line saying, when you get one available, I want one. It's not like that anymore. So, hopefully they'll actually participate and do the right thing. So they will be reimbursed the change back. So there you go. So there you go. All right. Anything else?
No.
All right. I have some recalls, and I have one that's not a recall, but it's information I think those Maverick customers that are taking delivery of the 25s may want to hear. And I'm cited in with the recalls because, like I said, it's not a recall, but it's
important information.
It's important information that I guarantee you Ford Authority is going to scoop up and not give me any credit for. But we're going to go over this. So let's jump in to recalls here. All right, so this first one here is safety recall 25S04. This is an advance notice, which means the official details of the fix and everything are not out yet. This is just an advance notice of an issue. This is on 2024 model year F-150s. And it has to do with the power steering gear replacement. Only 3 vehicles affected by this. So I don't even know why do you do a recall for only 3 vehicles? But that's fine. Just find the 3 vehicles and just fix them. But anyway, so affected vehicles contain a steering gear with an incorrect rack pinion combination. So there's that. So anyway, and again, owners of record will be notified via first class mail after repair instructions and parts ordering information have been provided to dealers. So again, they don't have the parts and everything ready yet. So that's why we don't have letters won't go out yet. So that's usually what those advanced notices. It's to kind of give it to the dealers so they're kind of aware it's going on and it's happening. So if they have somebody that's complained about that or asked about that, they can go, oh, there's a recall coming. We'll get you updated as soon as we get that information. But this next one is Customer Satisfaction Program 24N20 for 22 model year Mustang vehicles. Unable to gain security access is the kind of the heading here. So 7,992 vehicles are affected by this that were built between May 18th of 22 through July 19th of 22. So this is a no cost offer here, one-time replacement if needed of the body control modular for 10 years of service or 150,000 miles from the warranty start date of the vehicle, whichever occurs first. So basically this will expire January 31st, 2026 for a one-time repair. So it says in all affected vehicles, a concern exists within the BCM, that's a body control modular, that does not allow security access. When attempting to gain security access to program keys or program update the anti-lock braking system or the power control modules, whatever, the BCM will not allow programming to progress or complete. So there you go. And this in here again, letters are going to go out the week of January 27th. So this week, letters are going out to those people that are affected by this one. So there's that. So I don't mind the customer satisfaction programs because safety recalls are the ones that always concern me, right? So all right, this next one is another safety recall. Safety recall 24S48. This is for 23 to 24 model year transit trail vehicles. And these affects 1,902. And this is not an advance notice. This is an official recall here. It says in the affected vehicles, a bolt used to secure the steering column, intermittent shaft, or the eye shaft, to the steering gear pinion shaft may loosen over time and may disengage. If the bolt disengages, the steering column may separate from the pinion shaft, resulting in loss of steering control and increasing the risk of a crash. Owner letters, I should say, are expected to be mailed the week of February 10th or sooner, it says. So there you go. So there's that one. So that's an official notice so they have the parts and repair available. So this next one is Customer Satisfaction Program 24B67. So this is for 24 model year F-150 full hybrid electric vehicles, it says. And trim levels of Lariat XLT XL. So this in here, it says this program will be in effect through January 31st, 2027. There's no mileage limit to this program. And this program only applies to Lariat XLT XL. And it says Pro trims, but it doesn't mention full electric vehicles. It's a hybrid. So I don't know why they're considering Pro. Anyway, this in here, it says affects 46,725 vehicles that were built between June 9th, 2023 through September 16th of 2024 at the Dearborn truck plant. So it says some of the, the reason for this, and on some of the affected vehicles, the upper radiator air deflection shield may cause an air intake flow restriction to the air intake system and turbocharger, resulting in a turbo overspeed condition, which may eventually lead to a loss of boost. The customer may also observe smoke from the tailpipe, an illuminated check engine light, and unusual engine noise. So, almost said odor. Owner letters will be mailed out the week of February 10th as well on that one there. So, all right. So that's all the recalls that I want to cover. But there is something that we've been finding out on some of our new 2025 Mavericks that have been showing up. And so we were able to get some information from Ford engineers on the issue. So I think this even went out on Maverick Truck Club, and this affects not only the Maverick but also the Bronco Sport. So 2025 model year Maverick and Bronco Sports. Right now there is an issue with some of these coming to the dealership and throwing up all kinds of different codes, and like your pre-collision assist not working, different things like that are popping up on the screens and different things. And we've had one of our members, Zoom Jr. His
Yes.
did this, and the reason we found out about this is because we got on the top of this, and we actually had another one show up Saturday with the same issue as well, and we didn't think they could be delivered. So here is the actual official response from Ford Engineering on this. It said some 2025 Maverick and Bronco Sport vehicles may exhibit a condition where the Ford Diagnostic and Repair System (FDRS) scan tool cannot communicate with the modulars on the high-speed controller area network 2 or 3. And Ford is aware of the concern, and this condition does not affect vehicle durability, and no additional diagnosis or service is required for this condition at this time. Engineering is currently working on a fix for the FDRS scan tool that is expected by the end of January 2025. That's this week. Anyway, replacement reprogramming of the modulars will not resolve this condition. Monitor the professional technician system for additional information. So there will be, it looks like to me, there's a reprogramming that will happen. So it looks like to me the tool is not communicating correctly, right, with this. And so when you hook the tool up, it's throwing some codes that aren't there, basically. So there's nothing wrong with the system, but when you hook up the tool, it looks like there is. So and I think initially we found this one because the check engine light came on one trip. It wasn't doing it on every trip. It did it on one trip. They took it out twice and it popped up. And so they hooked up the tool, and the tool said all the stuff was wrong with it when it really wasn't. So that's pretty much what's happening. And so it looks like to me they're going to have to send out new FDRS tools to dealers. It sounds like maybe. I don't know. It says replacement reprogramming of the modules. So maybe they just can reprogram them. I don't know. But your Mavericks, Bronco Sports can be delivered. They are going to be fine. I know that Zoom's going to get his because we went through a bunch of different things, looking at things. We actually there's a part where waiting to get back in because we took some things to get to some of the things to make sure everything was plugged in and working correctly. And then engineering said, there's nothing you can do. You're good. It can be delivered. So, but because of that, we're wait on. There was something that had to be taken out. When you do that, you have to get a new one to put in. So we're waiting for that to come in for him. But these vehicles can be delivered. So the one from Saturday can be delivered.
Had all the bad luck with that.
Yeah. So there you go. So there's the case on that.
Ragnar says FDRS is like the official Ford version of Forescan, just to give you a sense. Just runs on a laptop.
That's what I was thinking.
Yes. So like I know that we have a couple of computers. I was actually wondering because I saw some text with them putting them back. I'm like, wonder what they use those for. Yeah. Oh, that's what they use them for.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yep. So Forescan is what you can buy. FDRS is what the dealers have. So, yep. So that's kind of what I took it to. So, all right. So there's that. So that's kind of interesting news. All right. Have any questions on any of that?
Not really. They've been talking about manuals.
Manual transmissions?
Uh-huh.
Well, here's the deal.
Ninjas are for real. Popped in. Of course, we have to talk about manuals.
Well, here's the deal about manuals. Is there a lot of people say that they want manuals out there, but when they make a manual available, they're not buying them. So Ford will make more manuals if more people would actually buy them. But since people weren't buying them, they stopped making them.
Yeah.
I mean.
Right. Well, they were talking about, I think Ninjas for Real said that he was a teacher, drive ed teacher, and taught how to drive manuals.
Yep.
So he said 3 in the tree, 4 on the floor, 6 on the stick. I don't know. My husband taught me, and he's just like, "Hey, you push this in," and then one of the high schoolers when I was in high school was trying to teach me by sitting in the driver's seat and doing everything as he told me what he was doing, and I'm like, I can't see your feet.
Okay, so we picture a lot of cars, right? Now think about this. We picture a lot of cars, new and used cars that come
Yes.
through here. We picture about 12 a day, right? Jeff cannot drive a manual. How many times have we had to pull one in for him?
Oh, so many.
Not that many, though.
Sometimes.
Think about it.
It's okay. So there's
Which
some
vehicles
things,
are manuals right now that we've had to pull in for him?
Corvette, Charger,
Mustang. All your performance cars.
The occasional Super Duty that we get in. Yeah.
Name a Super Duty that's been a manual in a long time. I want the
It's-
date. No, just kidding.
I've
anyway,
driven one.
been a long time since a truck's been a manual. But do you
Yeah.
know? Well, do you know why farmers? Let's do a little trivia here to see who knows this.
Ooh.
Do you guys know why farmers want manuals? I'll go on. I'll let you guys put that in there. I want to know, see if you guys know that. Why farmers like manual transmissions?
So yes, driving a stick should be a job requirement. When I worked in wash line, I didn't know how to drive manual, and yet we had cars that had to be moved. And I'm like, okay, you get this one. I can't move it.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
when I became photographer, I had to have Lebo come over and help me every time I need one moved. I had to wait 10 minutes for him to get over there. I'm like, I am sick and tired of this. So we eventually grabbed one that we could use off the lot. He taught me how to drive it.
Which, by the way, so
Now he taught me he drove and had me listen for when it needed to shift, and then he had me shifting for him, and then we moved over to me in the driver's seat.
yeah, there you
That helped me so much.
go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and answer this because I don't know if anybody's going to put it in there. But so a lot of farmers like to have a manual transmission because if they're working the field on their own, like let's say hay bales and stuff like that, right? If they have all these hay bales in their field, they would, and they have the trailer, they'd put that thing in first. They'd go ahead and pop the gear, and they'd get out of the truck, and it's driving along at very slow speed with nobody in there. They could be out chucking and putting the hay bales on the trailer. Yeah. So that's really why farmers had manual transmissions, is because they could work the field on their own, and that's what they did. They could move the truck along, and they could just walk along it and work off of it and then jump inside of it. Now, Bronco manual, the crawl gear, that's basically what you can do with it. So the Bronco manual, you can do that with it.
Yes.
So you can put it in that crawl gear, and it will just crawl along, and you can get out.
Yeah.
And one of the how many vehicles do you know of now that have the rotary dial shifter that when you open the door, it puts it into park?
So freaking many.
Bronco does not. Jeep does. So there, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go on my little rant. So Jeep, we were in a Jeep. I was in a Jeep not that long ago because we actually have to like put ours in the turntable just right. We want it in the middle. Got to look right. So I was in a Jeep. I had it in drive. I opened the door and it put it in park. Okay. I'm like, well, that's kind of messed up. So, what do you do when you want to take the doors off? Was it gonna? I don't think it'll do that. But anyway, I was like, that's, in my opinion, it's a flaw because a Bronco is one of those off-road vehicles, and it's made to like, hey, I need to open the door. Let me look back and see if I can see the rock that I need to go over. And sometimes you need to open the door. Or I know, sure, Ford does it because people want to take the doors off and they don't have to worry about a sensor.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
but I like that about the Bronco.
My usage is in the picture building. We have to have it perfectly centered forward and back. And I know how to, like in trucks and larger vehicles where it has a side step, I know how to keep my foot on the brake and step out and look at the front tire and look at the back tire and make sure I'm perfectly even.
I do that on Super Duties. I stand on the foot on the brake and then foot on there.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I'm looking over the windshield.
Yep.
I'm in. I'm on. Anyway. All right.
It's a science. It's a skill. We got it.
There you go. All right. Moving on. All right.
But yeah, we have to go move the manuals.
All right. Is it true? So this came up this week. So here's a question. Is it true that Ford is forcing dealers to push dealer installed options on orders? And it is, in a sense. Okay. So here's the deal. So Ford gets Ford dealers, if they sell accessories, right? They have customers that want to buy accessories and such here at the shop. They get, just like with anything, there's an invoice amount, right? And everything. Well, the invoice amount doesn't change on a Ford accessory, but the dealer gets a certain kickback for accessories. So they get, in the sense, a percentage that comes off of the invoice, right? When they're selling accessories. Well, Ford now, as of 2025, is now you don't get that percentage off of your accessories to sell to your customers if you don't hit a certain percentage of penetration, what they call it, on dealer installed options now, which I think is wrong. And this is why. For one, I tell people not to put dealer installed options on cars. But for two, if you're going to do that, then you need to get the parts to show up. So that's a big kicker right now. Do you know how many vehicles we've had show up and the dealer installed option is not here? It is not at the dealership. We have a bunch of F-150s right now.
We have customers excited to get their vehicles, but guess what? We don't have the parts.
Well, and here's what dealers are going to do is they're going to start ordering DIOs on all their stock vehicles. Because that's the way to do it. So we have our Lightning Bolt vehicles are showing up now.
Yeah, a dealership like us.
We had 2 truckloads of F-150 regular cabs for Lightning Bolts show up. And on all those, to help with this, they all have mud flaps and they have the Ford light up illuminated logo. They all had those ordered on them. Out of the 18 that showed up, I think it was 18 that showed up. Yeah, I think it was 18. Of the 18 that showed up, only about a handful of those could actually be installed. The others, the parts weren't here yet. So they're waiting to have those put on so they can get them through the rest of the process. So that's happening. And it could happen to your order too. And that's the bad thing. So Ford, before you do that, you need to provide and make sure you're going to deliver those DIOs on time.
Yeah.
I mean, think about you. How would you feel? You order a vehicle with the DIO on it to have installed. How this came about was we had keypads that were showing up, but they weren't working. So there's another issue there that we can talk about, is that the dealer installed keypads right now they look different and they're not working. So we've had several Mavericks have come in. We can't deliver them because the keypad that they sent won't program. This happened last year. Remember this? Happened last year. And it took a little while. Finally, they started working, but the ones they're sending aren't working. Well, guess what? You can't just take an accessory DIO or DIY.
Right.
We could have them in stock because we do stock them. You can't do that. You're not allowed to. You have to send back the DIO bad part for them to send you the new part. And you got to wait for it to show up and then hope that it's going to work too.
Right.
So there's the other issue. You got DIOs not showing up on time. You got DIOs not working, like keypads and such. So that's some major problems. So as a Ford dealer, I probably shouldn't be that irate about it and talk about it, but just true facts. That's stuff that's happening. So anyway, I never skirt what's going on with you guys. I always tell you guys the straight, skinny details of everything. So I haven't gotten too much trouble with Ford yet, but hey. If the truth hurts, I mean, fix it, right?
Yeah.
We got problems there. Anyway, so there you go. There's my Is It True? I thought that was a pretty good one for this week. And most dealers probably wouldn't go over that, but there you go. All right. Any questions about that? Hopefully not.
No. Can you still get the keypad for the Maverick?
Okay, so here's the deal on that. You can't get them until March.
Right.
So they're not so
I feel like that's another way of keeping you from ordering aftermarket.
So if you want to know issues on the keypad, take a look at the 25 model year Explorer or scheduling notes. Orders with the security code keyless entry keypad, it's a DIO, won't be selected for March production. So an Explorer right now, if you order a keypad, it's a DIO one. They will not select it for scheduling until April production date. So that's telling you that they're hoping. I think they were told that March is when they can start sending out the Ford accessory keypad. So we won't be able to get that until March, from what I understand. For if you want to get it after DIO, so like instead of doing it as a DIO, you can say, well, I'll just buy the accessory. I think you can't get it until March, from what I understand. So.
Right.
Again, don't make dealers do it. I mean, they're making basically dealers have to like 10% of their vehicles have to have DIOs on them. That's basically what it means. 10% of the vehicles we order have to have DIOs on them for us to get our full, what we're getting before, just by selling accessories as a profit. So otherwise we wouldn't hit it. So you're going to see vehicles on the lot with DIOs.
Yep.
I mean, any smart dealer will have them. Let's just say that. If you see dealers that might not, because they may not even realize they're losing any kind of revenue.
Right.
There you go. There's that. All right, just slid right into what's on my mind. Speaking of some of that stuff, let's talk about affordable cars. FRD. See where? Anyway, affordable cars. So where this came up was I was not at the dealer meeting, the Ford meeting at NADA this year because they always talk to dealers and such. But Automotive News did a great article. They were actually, the people from Ford talk to them as well. They like to talk to dealers that come out and see if they can get some tidbit of information from them that they're not supposed to tell, which that kind of happened a couple of years ago when they came out of the meeting and they talked about that new EV rules and the Model E. Oh boy, that hit the fan. Anyway, but this year, what they they talked about in the article is, because I am subscribed to the Automotive News online, so I can read that. But they basically had said that they want to, that the automaker said it plans to increase the mix of lower priced trims for the F-150, Escape, and Explorer to tailor to the right mix of specific regions around the country. Ford also plans to reintroduce the base trim to the Bronco for 25 model year, so they're bringing that back. And then they said, in addition, Ford is coming in coming months plans to launch an advertising campaign for the Maverick and the Bronco Sport, showcasing two vehicles that start under $30,000. So dealers were shown a preview of the ad on the January 24th meeting. So of course I wasn't there, wasn't able to see it, but it says we want to show. The quote in here from Andrew Frick who is the president of Ford Blue, said, "We want to show customers who want to shop under $30,000 that Ford has two amazing products in that price range, and you don't have to compromise your lifestyle." Let's take a look right now at what are under 30. What do we have available for under $30,000?
3 cars.
No, hold on. Don't get ahead of me. Let me pull this up so you guys can see it along with this. We're going to go to Ford.
According to the AI generated video about the 2-door Maverick, you can get them starting at $23,000 and they max out at $35,000.
By the way, don't believe that. We had some people that called and said, when are they going to make the 2-door a regular cab Maverick? No. What about the long bed Maverick? No. So don't believe everything you see.
Those are AI.
All right, so let's get every bit of screen we can here. Okay, so let's go and let's look at first. Let's look at the Bronco Sport. I think it's a great buy, but let's look at the price. So I love what they're saying. It starts at $29,795. So you do make a under $30,000 vehicle. No, let's take a look at this. Let's actually look at price. So you can say dealers are real bad because there's dealer fees and all this other stuff that they tack on top of it. Well, Ford does the same thing. So let's look at this. So if we click on the very cheapest, Big Ben, and we don't add anything to it, right? What's that $29,900 price actually end up being? And I don't like that you can't see everything over here. Ford, that's just ridiculous. We'll get to the summary. Anyway, down here, I guess the summary is right down there. Right down here, we'll look at the summary. We added nothing. We even went with a color that has no cost added to it. We added nothing to this. But let's not forget about that there is, don't worry about this acquisition fee. Oh, they added a rebate, an incentive down there. So $1,595 is your destination charge. That is to get it from the factory to the dealer, $1,595. They're going to make the dealers look bad. They're going to say, no, we offer a $30,000 Maverick, Bronco Sport. And actually, it looks like there's $750 off. There's an available incentive that says, I think that's a rebate that's out right now. There's a $750 rebate.
Yes.
Right.
There is.
But this acquisition fee, that's a lease. We're not going to talk about that. But we're still talking, it's over $30,000 because you got a destination charge that you don't have any way of getting around. You have to pay it.
Yep.
So you cannot get a $30,000 Bronco Sport. You can't.
I
Now,
agree.
if you offer a rebate of $1,600, then I'm on. Then you can talk to me about that. But they don't. So
Yeah.
we'll see. So maybe they plan to. Maybe they plan to have a rebate that gets it under 30,000 with the destination charge. But right now, Ford does not. The Bronco Sport does not get it. All right. So let's.
Yeah, reminds me of the under $20,000 Maverick price when they first started out. It
Right.
was $19,995.
All right. Well, let's look at the Maverick.
And delivery, it took you up to 20.
Maverick says starting at 23,920. So let's do that. But I think that was for 24 model year, 25 model year.
Yes.
Because right now you can't get a 24 because you can't buy them. Now there are dealers out there, by the way, there are dealers out there that they do have 24 model year Mavericks on their website, and they can technically sell it to you, but you can't take delivery of them. Just so you're aware of that. So there are dealers that are doing that.
We just decided to make it easy and not sell ours.
Yes, we don't want to do that because we don't want to sell it to somebody. If we can't deliver it in the same month we're selling it, we don't like to do business that way. We won't do it. These now for 25 model year though, which you can purchase now, starts at 26,550. Now that's close because your destination charge can't be that much, right?
It's about the same.
That is for a hybrid front wheel drive as well, by the way. So you're getting hybrid and you're getting that price. And we go down to the summary down here, and destination is the same, $1,595 for that. So I'm going to actually, where do I go to change that? Customize payments. We're going to take that. We're going to go to finance. So here, no, that's the down payment. No down payment. Let's just say 0. So you're 28,145. So here is your option. So you do have an XL Maverick that you can purchase for under $30,000. Now let's take this XL and let's add Copilot 360.
Because everyone needs Copilot.
You can see what it's not going to take long, and then you're over $30,000. But that's $795, and let's say you want the 4K tow package. Well, you got to go all-wheel drive for that, so you can't do that. Come on, there we go. So let's say we add that, and that's all we add, right? Because if we do 4K, then you got to add all-wheel drive, and now you're over $30,000. So you can't get a $30,000 all-wheel drive Maverick, by the way, and you can't get an EcoBoost because it's all-wheel drive. That took it to $29,635. So you can get one with Copilot 360 for under 30. So there is your option. So there's your affordable car that's under $30,000
with destination and delivery.
If they were back to 24 prices, I don't even think that's too bad. 23,900 plus your destination, you're at 25. I think if they start at 25, I think that would be a great price range. But $30,000, is that our new low? I'll tell you, Chevy has some better options. So Chevy has a Chevy Trax. It's an SUV, similar to what the Escape is, for in the mid-20s. Right? I mean, that's just kind of what it is.
I feel like we're kind of telling our customers, don't buy from us. Go look at this.
I'm just saying, don't
not
advertise.
A good deal.
I guess my big point is don't advertise. Like this year, I don't like this. Include your destination charge because you can't get around that. So don't advertise a vehicle that you can't, you
stand behind.
You can't stand behind. That's my big thing. And then this 23,920 on here, that's for the 24 model year, not for the 25 model year.
Now, the thing is that I always kind of find it funny. They're like, oh, MSRP is this. I'm like, no, it's not. Add your destination delivery. That's your MSRP.
Yeah. Now, with that said, I think that what is included in this, so now they don't mention the Escape in this because actually the Escape starts cheaper than the Bronco Sport.
Yeah.
Escape is a really great car too. That I've heard might be going away. So they said in this article, by the way, that some of the dealers came out and said that they were discontinuing the Escape after this calendar year that we're in now, that there won't be like a 26 model year. But when they asked Ford refused to talk about it.
Yeah.
So there's that. And they asked Ford too, what we're just talking about the meeting, they asked about any concerns with the tariffs. So what will that do to our affordable car, right?
Right.
Will we see tariffs? And I don't really want to talk too much about tariffs because I don't think we should talk about something that might not happen, but that could not happen.
We don't talk about.
But I don't like some people are asked, what about mine that's already built and not here yet? Am I going to see the tariffs adjusted to it? I think Ford's still going to stand behind the price protection. I think they're just going to eat that on some of those vehicles.
Yeah.
I don't think that if you have one built or you have one that's in transit or even scheduled to be built, I think if you're in that process, I don't think they'll do a price increase if there is tariffs. I think you'll see it on anything ordered after that date. I think they'll keep to the price protection. But I don't know because this is new territory for us all. So who's to tell, right?
Yeah.
But and then what? So here's the other thing I want to talk about is what. So we have affordable vehicles now. But speaking of that, the tariffs is that if they do have the tariffs, I said I wouldn't talk about it. Here I am talking about it. If we do see tariffs included, because what he wants to do is have more production done in the United States and less in other countries. If that happens, I don't feel like we can produce a Bronco Sport and the Maverick that cheap in the United States.
Sure.
And I think the reason that we can do that is because it is cheaper. So whether they put a tariff on and then Ford decides, well, we're going to make those in the U.S., then either way, the prices would probably go up if they do that, if that were to happen. Again, I think what I'm saying, February 1st is when that can happen. That's this Saturday. So I guess we'll just see what happens.
Yeah. Geralt said, I don't have the Copilot 360 option on my 23 Maverick. I have a way to see with the second mirror, and there are some 360 features that come with the vehicle. So I respectfully disagree. Because I said everyone needs Copilot. See,
I do like
the
Bliss.
I think the features that are in Copilot should be standard.
Yeah.
I don't think that they should be an option. They should just be standard.
Yeah, I do too. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the lane keeping system.
Yeah. Do we have to have them? No. They help make the drive easier. They kind of make it a little less worrisome, help reduce anxiety for some of those people, but they aren't a have to have, but they do help with the safety of the vehicle.
They are an assistance feature. They are not they are not to take away from your job as a driver. But I will say this: I do like Bliss a lot, and I'm not a big fan of the lane keeping system. So that's the system that tries to keep you in your lane.
Yes,
I have that on the Bronco, and on the trip to Colorado, it really didn't help.
Lebo hates it.
So I didn't think. Now
we've been over that before.
Now lane centering.
Okay.
We're talking about two different technologies.
Yes.
Now lane centering with adaptive cruise, I do like. So, and what's really weird, I got to thinking about this on my trip, is we have one vehicle that has lane keeping, does not has traditional cruise control. We have one that has adaptive cruise and one that has blue cruise. And I'll drive, and I won't, and that will not be my determining factor on what vehicle we ended up taking out of town.
Right.
I will tell you this, depending on a lot of times we'll be like, do you want to take the Bronco? Or do you want to take the Expedition? Last night we had to go to a viewing, a friend of ours that had passed away, and we were like, she brought the Bronco here. We're like, we could take the Bronco or the Expedition. I said the Expedition's quieter, so we took the Expedition.
Yeah,
but so that's that. I mean, the electric vehicle. A lot of times, if we're going to go out of town for very far, we don't take the electric vehicle. I mean, it's just easier to just fill it up and go. I mean,
now which one does the Ranger have?
The Ranger, you were talking adaptive cruise with the lane centering.
Right. We hate that.
I love it. I like the lane centering. Anyway, so there you go. So anyway, do we have affordable cars? There, like I said, I would like to see the prices. I really hated to see I think 24 Maverick prices were in line. I do think that was a pretty decent price. I mean, like now, try to I was going to actually do that. I was going to actually price out, and I didn't do that. I was going to actually show you, we can get back to that. Where were we? Right here. So I was gonna go back. How did I end up getting a different size? Anyway, whatever. So I was going to go and look at a Maverick. Like I said, Bronco Sport. Okay, speaking of that, so let's go back to this. I do think that when you look, so here's the 24 model year Bronco Sport, 29,795, right? That's for a 24 model year, and then 25. Oh, where'd it go? I think it's the same price. So 25 is 29,995. So it's they raised the price only $200 from 24 to 25. And when you look at the things that they did, they brought some really nice standard features without raising the price, with only raising the price $200, I should say. So when you look at some of the standard features now, it is a really, I think it is a great, I think the Bronco Sport is a great buy at $30,000. And what's great about this is not only that, but how many of these on the different prices they are. So, you get the bigger screen, you get Copilot 360 Assist Plus. So you get Bliss, lane centering, you get adaptive cruise, standard equipment on these, the bigger screen. You get so many things that are standard. A wireless charging pad is standard equipment on these. Not that I really use wireless charging pads, but those are all standard. And look at the prices on it. So a Big Ben starts at $29,995. Black Appearance Package only adds less than $2,000, less than $2,000. The Black Diamond Package only adds $25, and there's a $750 discount on it. I think for under 33, you have some great options. You can have an off-road version Bronco Big Ben. You can have a Black Appearance one. You can have a Heritage Edition for $33,300. Of course, you do have destination delivery, so you're 35 now. Freewheeling as well. So I think you have some really great options there. And look at how many of these start more expensive than the Maverick. Let's think about that.
Right.
But look at your Outer Banks, which in my opinion is your Lariat version, right? Outer Banks 35.1. So that's where the Lariat starts. So they start higher, but they don't build up to a higher amount. When you look at, it's only $5,000 walk to go from a base Big Ben to an Outer Banks, and I guess you do have destination delivery on top of that. But look what you're getting. You're not getting the Haas 2.0, but you're getting a lot of upgraded features that you would what you see on the Lariat trim. So I don't think you have as big of a space gap between your upper one and your lower one as much. But anyway, but I do like the Bronco Sport, and I think it is. I think you do get a lot for that $30,000. But I do like that on the Maverick, they give you an XL option. If you don't need all those things, you don't need all the technologies, right? You don't need the adaptive cruise control, right? So then you can start out at that 27. What that price was? 26, 27. I guess it's 28, wasn't it?
Yes.
You can start out at 28, which is $2,000 less, right? For that same reason, I think XLT should get the adaptive cruise. But anyway, so there you go. There's that. That's kind of where I want to talk about affordable vehicles is, there's two great vehicles. Maybe the only thing I can think of is maybe they're going to come out with some rebates so that they can say that you can get a Bronco Sport for under 30 with the destination, because otherwise they're lying. You're lying. So we'll see how that plays out and when they come out with that. Now, they have said that the reason that they're not coming out with that message yet is because of the recalls on the batteries.
Yeah.
Because the battery recall does affects, because I think they're wanting to sell down the 24s. So, and the recall on the 24, you know how that's going with the Maverick. So that's the goal, is they want to sell down 24. So there are rebates on 24 model year. So if we go and look at that, then yes, there are some $30,000 options for the 24 model year Bronco Sport. Well, we haven't priced $5,000 off, but I think there's like $2,000 rebate on some of them.
Yeah.
And so you can get a Bronco Sport now, a 24, which is probably what they're going for. We have like 4 of those left. So they're going to market the 24 model year Maverick and Bronco Sport. And they can't really do that until you can sell a Maverick. So that's probably why they're waiting for that message. So we'll see what comes out and see if we see some rebates or some low interest rates or something. But there you go. There's that. So there might be some affordable options coming. And with those prices, and will that affect what they're going to do? I mean, they've already raised their prices for 25, and they raised it again $155 just this week. But anyway, that's kind of where I was going with that, of throwing that out there of, do they make an affordable car or not?
Yeah.
Anyway, any questions about that, or any not only just questions, but any comments?
What is the acquisition fee?
So that is a fee that's charged on a lease. So they give it an acquisition fee. I know you
Okay.
can look up. There's a little I beside it that tells you exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But you'll see an acquisition fee on leases, but not
Yeah.
on purchases.
Now our Quibido said about the spare tire. He wishes there was a spare tire mount for the Maverick, like the Bronco. I told him let's work on making one.
Oh, like on the back, on the Bronco, the back of the Bronco.
Put it on the back of the tailgate or like
Right.
attached to the sides or something.
They make some for like off-road vehicles, like trucks. They make them to go in the
Yes.
beds.
Yeah.
You've seen those.
Or if you don't want to miss bedroom, you could do like a rack and put it mounted on the rack.
Yeah.
I've seen those.
Yep.
Yeah. Or get a shell, right? The top shell, and retrofit. Let's do some welding and some chopping here. Let's take that tailgate off and make it so it swings out. Let's take that shell door, also make that swing out, make it part of the tailgate then, and then mount your tire to that.
Hey, do you remember?
I got this.
Do you remember they were talking about a they were going to make a mid-gate?
Yes.
We talked about that.
We
It's
did?
been a while. So I haven't forgotten about that. That
Yeah.
mid-gate that's supposed to open up the bed into the truck.
Yes.
Interesting.
John said, will a dealer service shelves package kit for the new 26 Ford will have a dealer service shelves package kit for the new 2026 Maverick panel delivery van.
Probably.
I don't know.
They probably will. I mean, it'll be similar to what they are, some of the stuff they were having for the Transit Connect. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Right. Oh, Ragnarcon had a comment about the manuals. Enthusiasts want manuals, the general public doesn't. Kind of like the V8s. Enthusiasts want it, general public wants the miles per gallon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Do you have price on the new 2026 Maverick hybrid panel delivery?
We don't even have any. We don't even know whether or not we're going to see a Maverick van in 26 model year.
Right.
There's no there's no confirmation they've given us. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Other than that, we've been talking about manuals still. And I've been bringing up the comments. The asymmetrical wheelbase length on the Renault 4, 5, 6, and 7. They were talking about that.
Mhm.
I like the speed sight recognition so many times, because you don't know the speed limit sometimes.
Yeah, I've had that happen to me. Get to talking or something, and it changes.
Or
on you.
a semi comes between you and that sign, and you don't realize it.
Now, believe it or not, those work in construction zones. So when you're
Yes.
coming up and you might be in a 75-mile-an-hour zone or something, but then there's construction and it's a 65, it's reading the signs. It's not reading what the GPS says. It's reading the actual signs. So it will slow you down those construction zones, which is very important too.
Yeah. Maybe I can get.
So people
VTech
said that
on
theirs
this.
weren't working though on their Mavericks. That was something I was thinking about doing a video on, was actually going out and testing some of the ones that we have.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you think I could get VTech to come down here and help me retrofit a swinging wheel onto a Bronco?
I don't know.
All right.
All right. Well, I don't think you have much else. Any other questions in here? Or anything?
Let's see. Ordered a new F450 Lariat last December. Have not heard anything yet. Question is, do they schedule weekly for following month, or do they schedule only monthly? Like January 17th, they post for March. Kind of both. So they schedule them 2 months out. They'll schedule like the first or second week of the month, and then they'll see what their allocations are looking like and do it maybe a second round, usually for us.
Well, Super Duty, they do it a little bit different than they do most.
Oh,
other
that's
models.
right.
They'll do
Super Duty's weird.
They will schedule like every week because they can produce so many that they'll Super Duty and F-150s will schedule like every week. They'll schedule every week, like so. what they typically, most models, like the first week they start scheduling, they try to schedule out their entire month for the most part, at least the retails first, and then fill in from there. But on the Super Ds and F-150s, they actually schedule multiple weeks, so they won't use up all your allocations the first week. They'll schedule over several weeks.
Right.
So that is a little bit differently. So, and we do what I suggest that Joe needs to do is watch my scheduling videos. So,
Yes.
check those out. They actually air they
He
one
breaks
tonight.
it down
So
really well there.
we break it down and we go over that. So I would watch that video, and it kind of goes through what they're scheduling for each week, and each week is kind of separate on its own. A lot of times I see a lot of the same things each week, but the factory will give dealers notes of here's what we're scheduling for this week, and here are some things we can't schedule for this week, and they'll tell you that. And sometimes in some situations the plant won't schedule. So,
Right.
like I said, those those models that schedule, in a sense, their whole month, the first couple weeks, a lot of times you'll see where they won't schedule the other ones because they already planned out their month.
Yeah.
But Super D and F-150 are different.
So, is there a reason why YouTube is the only streaming app that Ford Sync 4 in the 25 Maverick? I would like Hulu, Netflix, or more built in, like it's current. I believe you can customize that in the app. So you'd have to go to your phone.
I think there is an app store.
Yes.
And then now, some of the Android Auto, you can pull in different apps like Spotify and different things like that into your Android Auto. That'd be a good video.
Yeah.
I've covered it before, but I could cover it in the Maverick. But there is where you can pull in an Android Auto multiple like other ones that will show up in there. So which maybe I could do a video on that. Because I'll pull in. So like one of those is like now Sirius XM, you get you only get 3 months. Of course, you got to sign up. But let's say you already signed up. Like for me, I've signed up with Sirius on my wife's Expedition, and so I get the mobile app as well with that. Well, if you get the mobile app, you can go into a different vehicle that you don't have Sirius with, and then use the Android Auto, pull in a Sirius app, and you could actually use your Sirius app instead of Sirius on the vehicle, and not have to pay for it. So it's a way of getting around that. So it is kind of weird because you got to go through the app and everything. So it makes it a little more difficult than if you just had Sirius, the Sirius satellite in the vehicle. So it is one of those things. But
Yeah.
all right, close.
That's what I have. Let's see. There were 9 comments while we were looking at that. Okay. Nope, they're just more manual stuff, more other. We've really gone on a rant in the chat tonight.
All right. Any others? All right.
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay. Well. Okay. Well, that's all we have tonight. Hope you guys did learn something from tonight and gain some information on that. And yeah.
Our podcasts are shorter now without the scheduling notes.
Yeah, they are.
It's nice.
Yeah.
We aren't getting home at
I was
11.
separated them at separate videos anyway, so I figured why not. I was going to just play them. I was going to record them ahead of time and have that video go live and then just replay it during the live stream. And I thought,
yeah,
we'll see. Anyway. All right. Because there are a lot of people come in the live stream for that and don't come in for the scheduling.
Right.
Video, so, and I might get more views on the other video by doing that too. So we'll
Yeah.
see. Anyway. All right. Well, that's all I have for this week. Again, we'll get a fun Built Wild Wednesday video for tomorrow. I'm going to edit that and looking forward to editing that video tomorrow. And so if you guys check that out, and go live at 6 p.m. Central tomorrow night. And that should be a lot of fun if you want to see some cool Broncos and such, and a little bit of history there too. And some people went through that and said, now I see the desire to want to get a 25 strap Bronco. After going through that. So but anyway, so there you go. Hopefully that'll be a fun video, and then hopefully I can get you a good Super Duty Saturday video as well.
Yeah.
So, and for you members, we'll see you guys on Thursday and Friday as well.
Thursday.
Right.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
So
I forget
anyway.
you do that on Thursdays now.
Yep. Well, you did a cameo appearance this last one, or not this last
2
one.
weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. So maybe Sarah needs to join me on those.
Now that you do it on the day I'm here,
Right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so
and
All
then
right.
join on Thursday for
yeah.
my
Well, you can
podcast.
join me for a couple times so that when I'm like, hey, I don't want to do it, you go do it.
Yeah, that works.
I'm grooming in the next people.
Setting us up for success.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you very much. And yeah, don't forget about some of the different things going on, events and all that. Be in Orlando on February 8th
Yes.
at Ford's Garage in Hamlin. And
Yes. I always
um,
forget where it's at.
Yep.
It's at Hamlin.
we'll,
If you have
we'll
any
post
questions,
that. We'll post that in there before we leave tonight.
Yeah.
We'll post that in there and get you the information on that. I don't know if we know a time. Do we know a time?
Meetup starting at 12:30. We have reservations at Ford's Garage for 1:00.
Okay.
So we want to
We
kind of
can
start.
meet up outside and check out
Yeah.
people's vehicles.
We kind of want to start meeting up about 12:30. Kind of try and get our vehicles together.
That'd be cool. So yeah, so we'll do that. We'll put that all in there and everything else, and have fun. And then, in March, be of course going to Bronco Off Rodeo with Chris. And but so anybody else that wants to sign up for a half day at Bronco Off Rodeo, we're doing the morning session that day, the Friday, the March 19th, is it?
Yep.
Oh, Chris knows.
Yeah. And then
Oh, it's the 21st. So March 21st, we're doing the morning
Yeah.
session. Anybody else wants to join us?
join us late July for our Maverick meetup here.
So a lot of fun stuff going on. Anyway, all right. Sounds good. Well, I think that's all we got today. So hope you guys had a great episode. And until the next video, stay positive, be kind to one another.
And be kind to yourself.
We'll see you later.